All right, we are once again back doing another 2025 NFL mock draft simulator. Yesterday I did a full 7 round Dallas Cowboys draft, so if you haven't checked that out, give it a look. I think it actually turned out pretty well. Today we're doing a little differently. We're not doing just one team. We are just going to be doing a full first round mock draft. We're gonna have a couple trades in here. I did originally have this on the PFF simulator, but PFF, I'm gonna keep it a buck. PFF sucks, dude. You have to spend $25 a month for that, and you can't even do trades on just the free first round version. That's stupid. We're doing the mock draft database simulator. I don't care. It'll be easier. The UI is better, in my opinion. Well, let's just get started because this will probably take 15 minutes. At number one, we all know who Tennessee is taking. They're taking Cam Ward. He's the best quarterback in this draft by honestly a pretty good margin. He was asked his top 4 receivers, and he said Calvin Ridley and Treylon Burks in there, which probably definitely not true. He did say Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, so he's got a little bit of an idea. But obviously, he's going to the Titans. We don't even need to really discuss it. He will be a Tennessee Titan by April 25th. If you're the Browns here, I think it's clear that you want to go Travis Hunter. You have massive holes, massive needs at pretty much every single position on your roster. If you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get arguably the best player in this entire draft, I think you'd be thrilled. Now, if you are the New York Giants, I think they trade down here. They don't really need Abdul Carter, or obviously you would love to have him, but their defense is already pretty good. If they can trade down and get more draft capital and a pretty solid first round pick, I think they'd still be pretty thrilled. It's just kind of a matter of who do they trade down with. I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to trade up to pick number 3 for I think they're going to trade up to pick number 3 for Abdul Carter. And let's see so we'll get a first 115 to 46. I'm gonna get 148 instead. Nah. I don't think I think it'll be like this. I think that's how it'll work. Get an extra second and then a first next year. And then Abdul Carter will be going to the Atlanta Falcons. Huge blockbuster draft day trade. The likelihood of that actually happening is incredibly low, but I think it's entirely plausible. I think it could happen. I think it'd be incredibly exciting if it does. But we'll see. If you're the New England Patriots, you're going Will Campbell here. Protect Drake May. That's your main goal. Obviously, you want a good receiver, and maybe they'll trade back towards the end of the first round to get a Luther Burden, get an Amika Buka. I don't know. We'll see. But if you're the Jaguars, obviously you're going Mason Graham here. Nothing too insane. Jaguars, they need help basically everywhere. You might as well just go BPA, best player available, where you're at. And so that's how they end up with Mason Graham. And the Raiders, they're going to go Ashton Jeanty. I hate that because I'm a Cowboys fan, and I really I would love to get Ashton Jeanty on our team, but it's simply I don't think it's going to happen. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. If you're the New York Jets, honestly, Armand Mimbu has like minus odds to get picked here, which I think is a little insane. Like, I think it's very likely he does. But let's switch it up. I think the Jets want to go Tyler Warren here. Get a big body tight end who can help as receiver with Justin Fields. It can also help block for the offensive line. Get kind of like a 2-in-1 player there. I think they'd be ecstatic to get Tyler Warren. And if you're the Carolina Panthers, honestly, I think you want to trade down. I think you want to trade down maybe with San Francisco here just to kind of get anyone you can. I don't think San Francisco wants to trade up. I don't think they have much of a need to do that. But you know who does? I think Miami. Tua is always getting hurt. If Miami can get an Armand Mimbu to help with their offensive line, I think they would love that opportunity. So I do want Miami to trade up with the Carolina Panthers here. Let's see, we'll do 5. And then a 4th this year and a 6. Go with that. Come on. Okay. So Carolina will trade it down about 5 slots. They'll pick up an extra 4th, and they will get a 2nd next year, get 2 5ths this year, and a 5th next year for Miami. Let's just go ahead and trade. And then Miami, they are thrilled to get Armand Mimbu. Huge offensive tackle out of Missouri. I've seen tapes on this guy. That dude is a beast. He can and he will just like throw someone to the ground just like casually. Like that dude is a monster. And if that dude's protecting Tua, I that's pretty scary. But if you're the Saints here, you honestly you do want to go Sugar Sanders, and that's who I am gonna pick. I think it's definitely an extremely risky pick, but they should go Sugar. I mean, Derek Carr, he's probably gonna be injured most of the year. Spencer Rattler, in the few games he played last year, he simply was not that good. So I think there is a possibility of Carolina trading down with the Steelers, so the Steelers can get Sugar. But I don't think that's how the board falls. I think Shedeur Sanders ends up being a New Orleans Saints by the end of the night. Chicago is probably really upset if this is how the board falls. They miss out on Ashton Genty. They miss out on, if it would let me scroll, that'd be splendid. But they miss out on a lot of their top name guys, which kind of sucks for them. But they don't want to go Amari on Hampton. They're not going to reach on Hampton. I think that's a little unnecessary. So they're gonna go. I think they don't need receiver, and they don't need corner. Offensive tackle, get Kelvin Banks. That's probably gonna be the move. Yeah, I do think they go Kelvin Banks here. Frankly, yeah, yeah. Ben Johnson, he's a big offensive line guy. If you can get another big-bodied offensive tackle just to protect Caleb Williams, he was like the most sacked QB last year. He had like 68 sacks or something ridiculous. You got to protect your guy. You got to protect Caleb Williams, and I think they go Kelvin Banks here. And if you're the 49ers, you have Jalen Walker fall to you. You're ecstatic. Don't even really need to go to detail on that. The San Francisco 49ers, if they have Jalen Walker, that'd be a huge improvement on their edge room. If you're the Cowboys, I think you are thrilled to have the board fall like this, like I am. You have your choice between Ted McMillan and Matthew Golden, and in this case, what I want us to do, if we have both options available, let's trade down. Let's trade down with the Cincinnati Bengals. Because Cincinnati, they have so many needs on their defense. If they can just get anybody else just to help out, that's what they want. So we're gonna get a second, and then I'll give you like a sixth, and a first, and another sixth, and come on. Okay, we'll do sixth, fifth, first, and then we'll get an extra second to trade down 5 spots, and we'll throw a 6 in there. Let's go ahead and do that. I think that works out extremely well for both teams, because that means Cincinnati is able to get Jahdae Barron, Mykel Williams, Shamar Stewart, Mike Green. They get their choice of their best defensive guys who are still on the board. And frankly, I think if I am the Bengals, I would want to go with Jahdae Barron. They were basically able to stop absolutely nobody on offense last year. Their cornerback room and their safeties, they were buns. So if you can get Jahdae Barron, extremely exciting corner out of Texas, they'd be thrilled. And if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I'm extremely happy because the board has fallen exactly how I need it to, because we can get Mykel Williams, Tedero McMillan, or Will Johnson. I think it's just kind of like a matter of who David Tepper and whoever their head coach is, I forgot his name, Brian Callahan, I think. It's just kind of whoever, because these 5 top guys are all their top needs. But frankly, if I'm the Panthers, I want to go Ted McMillan here. Give Bryce Young another receiver. Xavier Legette was decent last year. He wasn't spectacular by any means. So let's just go ahead, get him another weapon, because Bryce Young, you took him number 1 overall a couple years ago. You traded so much for him. If you can get any more weapons for him, that's what you need to do. And if you're the Colts, you have Colston Loveland here. I don't think that's really who they want to go with. I mean, who else is there at tight end? Yeah, like if the Colts can get like a Mason Taylor in round 2, I think they would much prefer that, because they can get Shamar Stewart at 16 or Mike Green. I just see Mike Green fitting a little bit better with the Colts. I do want to go Mike Green here. One thing that does worry me about Mike Green after watching his tape, he got a bunch of sacks at Marshall, but his main thing, sorry, I'll sip in my coffee. His main thing is that he goes for the legs, which I don't know how well that'll work in the NFL. But still, if you can get Mike Green there, I think you're excited. He's an incredibly exciting prospect. And if you're the New York Giants, you have Shamar Stewart, fall to you. That is basically exactly what you want to see. Jackson Dart is there. They're not going to take a QB in round one. They just got Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. Frankly, I think Jameis Winston should start over Russell Wilson, but whatever. But yeah, I do think the Giants, they would like to go with Shamar Stewart here. Cardinals, they're ecstatic to have Will Johnson fall to them, get them some more help on their cornerback room. Dallas Cowboys, here we go. Got ourselves Matthew Golden. I think they go Matthew Golden at 12 here, which honestly I would love. I really like the idea of Matthew Golden on the Cowboys. He was so fun to watch at Texas. It's a big playmaker. Like, I'll put the clip on the screen right here of him making that insane one-handed catch when he's in like triple, or I think it was double or triple coverage. It was insane. Let's get him on the Cowboys. I am beyond excited if that's how the board falls. In Seattle, they probably want to go offensive line here. I don't think it really matters who. Michael Williams is there, but I think if you're Seattle, you really just need your offensive line to be bolstered a little bit. But I think they should trade down with probably the Chargers. Nah, because I don't have any of these four taking tight end. Chargers aren't going to want to trade up. Maybe Green Bay. Yeah, let's do Seattle and Green Bay. I think that is a very likely fall there. And then just do like a third next year. Trade down 5. What about a second? Can you do a second instead? I think that's more plausible. Boom, boom, and then a 4th and a 5th, 4th and a 4th and a 4th. Oh my god, come on. Okay, maybe not. Stupid thing. Just completely reset that. We'll do it first. We'll do 18 for 23, 87. Sure, we'll just do that. Okay, which means the Green Bay Packers can get themselves Mr. Michael Williams. He does kind of fall a little bit, but if the Packers can get him, get some help at their edge position, I think they'd be excited. Jod Campbell is obviously going to be a Buccaneer. It's probably been the worst kept secret of this entire draft that the Buccaneers want Jod Campbell, so we don't even really need to explain it. He's going to be there. Same with the Broncos. They're going to Marion Hampton, obviously. Pittsburgh Steelers, it has been mocked Jackson Dart here. Frankly, I don't think they go QB. I think they pick up Jalen Milroe in the second round if they're able to. But instead, they would like to go with probably Malachi Starks here. Oh, Kenneth Grant. Yeah. Kenneth Grant makes more sense for the Steelers, which means Jim Harbaugh gets his guy out of Michigan, Colson Loveland. That makes a lot of sense. In the Seattle Seahawks, they can now pick up Josh Simmons. If you're the Vikings, you need to trade down here. The Vikings have like 4 picks in this entire draft. Like, it's bad. So let's see. I think they want to trade down with probably the Detroit Lions if they're able to, which that is an interdivision trade, which is kind of scary at times. But go 128 for 102 just to get an extra third. I think they're excited about that, which means the Detroit Lions can get Malachi Starks and get Nick Emmanwori. They can get Derek Harmon, which I think are all some of their top guys here. I do think they trade up for Derek Harmon because I really do not see him getting past Baltimore or Houston. So we'll go Derek Harmon here. Houston, they do go Gray Zabel. They need to protect CJ Stroud. If I'm the Los Angeles Rams, stick with me. Jackson Dart. They're going to pick Jackson Dart here. Matthew Stafford is getting incredibly old. Not incredibly, he's like 30-something. But go ahead and pick Jackson Dart. He's a lot like Matthew Stafford. You can just train him. You can teach him into becoming the quarterback you want. You can pair him up with Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, whoever else they had. I forgot who it was. But Jackson Dart here just makes a lot of sense to the Rams. And the Baltimore Ravens, they would be thrilled to have Malachi Starks fall to them, which means the Minnesota Vikings can get Nick Emmanwori. And the Washington Commanders, they will probably go Nika Egbuka here, I want to say. They got Terry McLaurin. They did trade a 5th for Debo a couple months ago. James Pierce is there, though, but yeah. Yeah, James Pierce. He's got some character issues, but I think ultimately he is a dog and he's going to be good. Buffalo Bills, Walter Nolan falls there. They're excited about that, which means the Kansas City Chiefs get their pick between Tyler Booker or Josh Connerly. I think they would go with Tyler Booker here just because he's a little bit better than Josh Connerly, but I think either or would make a lot of sense. We'll just go Tyler Booker for them. And the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they ended off with taking Donovan Ezeriku. Okay, that was a lot, and we are at 15:32. Wow, I pretty much nailed that 15-minute guess. But let's just go through everything. These are all of our trades. New York trades down with Atlanta for 15-3. Carolina trades down with Miami for 13-8. Dallas trades down with Cincinnati for 17-12. Seattle trades down with Green Bay for 23-18. And Minnesota trades down with Detroit for 28-24. So I have Cam Ward to the Titans, Travis Hunter to the Browns, Abdul Carter to the Falcons, trade up at 3. Will Campbell, number 4 to the Patriots, Mason Graham, number 5 to the Jaguars, Ashton Jeanty, number 6 to the Raiders, Tyler Warren, number 7 to the Jets, Armand Mimbu to the Dolphins, trade up with the Panthers, Sher Sanders, number 9 to the Saints, Kelvin Banks, number 10 to the Bears, Jalen Walker, 11 49ers, Jade Barron, number 12 with the Bengals, Tedero McMillan, number 13 to the Panthers, Mike Green 14 to the Colts, Shamar Stewart 15 to the Giants, Will Johnson 16 to the Cardinals, 17 Matthew Golden to the Dallas Cowboys, 18 Michael Williams to the Packers, 19 Geod Campbell to the Bucks, Marion Hampton to the Broncos, Kenneth Grant to the Steelers, Colson Loveland Chargers, Josh Simmons Seahawks, Derek Harmon to the Detroit Lions, Gray Zabel to the to the Houston Texans, Jackson Dart get a QB for the Los Angeles Rams, Malachi Starks 27 to the Ravens, Nick Manowari 28 to the Vikings, James Pierce Jr. number 29 to the Commanders, Walter Nolan to the Buffalo Bills, Tyler Booker 31 to the Kansas City Chiefs, and finally Donovan Ezeriku number 32 to the Philadelphia Eagles. That is my official, kind of crazy, kind of wild first round mock draft. I'm excited to come back to this afterwards just to see what I got right, what I got completely wrong. Realistically, Falcons probably don't trade up to number 3, but who knows? It's fun to theorize. Yeah, rate this mock draft in the comments. Tell me anything you would change, anything you wouldn't change, what you think I did good, what you think I did bad. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.